Long before corn chips became a gas station staple or the crunchy sidekick to a bowl of salsa, they were born from necessity, improvisation, and a changing food culture. Their story winds through indigenous cooking traditions, busy city factories, roadside diners, and post-war supermarkets. What began as a simple way to avoid wasting leftover tortillas eventually turned into one of the most recognizable snack foods in the world. The history of corn chips is not just about flavor or convenience. It is also about migration, industrialization, advertising, and the way small kitchen ideas can reshape entire industries, right here on History of Simple Things. The story of corn chips starts centuries before packaged snacks existed. Corn was one of the most important crops in the Americas, cultivated by indigenous civilizations long before European contact. In regions that are now Mexico and Central America, people developed nixtamalization, a process where dried corn kernels were cooked in an alkaline solution. This softened the corn, improved its nutrition, and made it easier to grind into masa for tortillas and tamales. Tortillas became a major part of everyday meals, and cooks often reused stale tortillas instead of wasting them. Fried tortilla strips and crispy corn snacks were common long before modern snack companies existed. These early cooking practices eventually laid the foundation for corn chips. As Mexican cuisine spread through migration and trade, tortillas and fried corn snacks became familiar in parts of the United States, especially Texas and California during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The modern corn chip is often connected to San Antonio, Texas during the 1930s. One popular story involves Rebecca Webb Carranza, who worked in a tortilla factory and noticed rejected tortillas piling up. Instead of throwing them away, she cut them into triangles, fried them, and sold them as snacks. Although some details are debated, tortilla factories clearly helped create the first commercially successful corn chips. Carranza later became known as the Queen of the Tortilla, and her products grew popular across Texas because they were affordable, crunchy, and easy to package. Around the same time, entrepreneur Elmer Doolin helped turn corn chips into a national product. In 1932, he bought a recipe for fried corn chips and began producing them under the name Fritos, taken from the Spanish word frito, meaning fried. His company expanded production and distribution, helping corn chips spread across the United States. Corn chips arrived at the perfect time. During the mid-20th century, American eating habits were changing quickly. Urban growth, supermarkets, and automobile travel increased demand for portable and shelf-stable foods. Snack products became symbols of convenience and modern living. Corn chips fit naturally into this trend. Since they lasted longer than fresh foods, they were easy to sell in stores and vending machines. Companies improved machinery, expanded distribution, and invested heavily in advertising. Bright packaging and memorable commercials helped turn corn chips into household staples. After World War II, television accelerated the popularity of snack foods even more. At the same time, Tex-Mex dishes like chili, tacos, and nachos became common across the country. Corn chips were no longer seen as regional foods. They had become part of mainstream American culture. A major turning point came with the creation of nachos in the 1940s. Ignacio Nacho Anaya reportedly invented the dish in Piedras Negras, Mexico, near the Texas border. Using limited ingredients, he layered fried tortilla chips with melted cheese and jalapenos. The dish quickly became popular. Nachos changed how people viewed corn chips. They were no longer only snacks from a bag, but part of a larger dining experience connected to sports bars, parties, and movie theaters. Over time, toppings became more elaborate with meat, beans, sauces, and sour cream. Snack companies also began experimenting with stronger flavors. Cheese, barbecue, and chili seasonings created entirely new varieties of corn chips. Doritos, introduced nationally during the 1960s, became one of the most influential examples. This era transformed corn chips into heavily marketed snack products built around bold flavors and crunch. As American snack brands expanded internationally, corn chips spread far beyond North America. Different countries adapted them to local tastes, creating regional flavors and styles. Some markets preferred spicy seasonings, while others leaned toward milder or sweeter options. At the same time, traditional Mexican cuisine gained global attention. Restaurants served fresh tortilla chips with salsa and guacamole, highlighting handmade preparation instead of industrial production. This created two identities for corn chips, one connected to authentic culinary traditions and another linked to mass-market snack culture. Health concerns also influenced the industry. Companies introduced baked versions, organic ingredients, and reduced salt options as consumers became more aware of nutrition. Even with these changes, the basic appeal of corn chips stayed the same. They remained crunchy, flavorful, inexpensive, and easy to share. The history of corn chips is a story of adaptation. Ancient methods of preparing corn evolved into practical ways of reusing tortillas, which later became commercial products sold in supermarkets around the world. Over time, entrepreneurs transformed humble fried corn into a massive industry tied to entertainment, sports, and fast food culture. Yet beneath the branding and mass production, corn chips still reflect centuries of culinary traditions built around corn, one of the oldest and most influential crops in human history. What began as a simple solution for leftover tortillas eventually became one of the world's most recognizable snacks. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.